Hi, this is Onion, and we are continuing our playthrough of the main story quest for Final Fantasy XIV Online. We're taking a break from the Sylphs. We know that we need to help them find their primal, but right now we have Gladiator transitioning into Paladin available. So we will start that here in a sec.
Oh, there you are, Onion. Perfect timing. I've just heard a juicy bit of gossip that I know you're going to be interested in. Apparently, and remember, you heard this first from me, the Sultan Sworn Elite are sharing the secret skills and training of paladins. Incredible, I know. The Sultan Sworn have an exclusive monopoly on the instruction of paladin skills. Once upon a time, if you weren't one of those officer track elites, then you had no chance to learn the arts. And competition to get to the top was very fierce indeed, let me tell you. But anyone who joined had to swear an oath of fealty to the Odan Sultanate. Which meant no more adventuring, no more daring do, and no more Colosseum, just languishing about in the palace all day polishing plate mail. That's why this news is so big. Now anyone with a bit of commitment can learn the skills of a paladin, and no memorizing the 55 commandments of the Sworn or any other nonsense, either. This is a golden, no, a platinum opportunity that comes but once in a lucky adventurer's lifetime. Let this slip through your fingers and regret will be your just deserts. You need to go to the Royal Promenade in the Hustings Strip. Find the captain of the Sultan Sworn Elite, Jen Lins is his name, and tell him how you're just dying to become a paladin.
Yes, I am Jen Lins, member of the Sultan Sworn Elite and servant to the Uldan Sultanate. Unless my instincts deceive me, you have come to inquire about training as a paladin. If so, I would have your name, good woman. Onion? A fine name. I bid you welcome, and salute your noble resolve. But if you aspire to paladinhood, you should understand what it means. A paladin swears allegiance to the Sultanate. A paladin shall be the sword and shield of the Sultanate. A paladin defends the people of the realm. Sell swords and gladiators and others of their ilk wield their blades for themselves, but a paladin serves the greater good. Do you understand me? The battle arts that the paladin learns have been held secret, nurtured, and perfected within the ranks of the Sultan Sworn Elite for nigh on these 600 years. Of all those sworn to protect the Sultanate, the soldiers, the mounted guards, and the knights, we are the elite of the elite. Our conviction unwavering, our hearts true, our sword skills without peer. But the glory of the Sultan Sworn? Well, much of it is buried in the past now. Our brotherhood grows smaller by the year, we are a shadow of what we once were, and the Sultana turns to sell swords to defend her palace. All this, because of one traitor, no, because of a blot of dishonor left by one who shall not be named. And because of him, we have been forced to seek the help of able-bodied adventurers. And here you are. We shall instruct you in the paladin military arts. You will not be inducted into the Sultan Sworn, but serve as a free paladin. However, first you will show us that both your sword and heart have metal, and you are worthy of the honor. In the ruins to the south of Little Alam Hago, you will find an iron brazier. Light it, and the undead nearby will be drawn to the flame. Slay these monsters and give their hearts to the fire. Return and present to me their ashes as proof of your deed. Now, would-be paladin, show me the metal in your heart and steel in your blade.
If you are in this place, searching for the undead, then you must be a petitioner seeking the secrets of the paladin arts. But make no mistake. Simply learning paladin swordplay does not make you a paladin, nor does the armor you wear, or the status you claim. I am just another aging free paladin, but you would do well to heed my counsel. Strike off the shackles that bind your spirit, lift the visor that blinds, and find the true path of the paladin. Here, you will be returning to the captain, yes. Then give him this crystal. The way you use that sword reminds me of a man I used to know. Mine eyes may be old, but they can see the truth well enough. Be a paladin strong and true. Devote yourself to the way and become a beacon of light.
Face the undead monsters who infest the ruins south of Little Alamhigo in southern Thanalan. Defeat them and return with proof of your deed. Yes, that's what I needed. Proof that you have defeated the undead. You have shown that your heart is true and your sword has metal. I've no doubt that you will prove to be an attentive pupil. That is well, for there is much to learn. First and foremost is this: you are a paladin now, a custodian of traditions ancient and noble. A free paladin has no master. Instead she travels all lands, and in every place takes up the cause of the unarmed and defenseless. You swear fealty not to a lord, but to yourself. You are nobility amongst adventurers. You have taken your first steps on a new path, and you have earned the right to bear this, the soul of the paladin. Upon its surface are carved the deeds of paladins of eras past. She who bears it commands the respect of all knights of honor. Bahamut's Fang. You already possess a crystal? And you say it was given to you by an unknown free paladin, who told you to hand it to me. Where is this crystal of which you speak? I demand you show it to me at once. Curse him, he has made a mockery of the trial. That crystal you bear is indeed the soul of the paladin. But it is disgraced, impure. It was stolen from the Sultan Sworn. The man who gave you this soul is the very traitor whom I have been seeking these many moons. He is an oathbreaker who bent the knee to the Uldan Sultanate and who swore allegiance to the Sultan Sworn, but then single-handedly sullied our name, and trampled it underfoot until it was lost, perhaps forever. How dare he give counsel on honor, on the paladin way? This soul is polluted, and I must dispose of it. When you come to wield your sword as a paladin, the only soul you may wear is that which is bestowed by a captain of the Sultan Sworn. That traitor is no Sultan Sworn, still less a captain. By giving you a soul, he insulted not only the brotherhood, but you, too. Perhaps an adventurer like yourself finds our rules nothing more than a nuisance. But through reigns long and short, our forebears in the Sultan Sworn have preserved its rituals and traditions, and we are duty-bound to uphold them, even if men and women within our own ranks scorn them as relics. It has been my fate to be named captain of the Sultan Sworn in these troubled times. Though I did not ask for this honor, I have bent my knee to the Sultana and sworn fealty, and I will fight to restore our honor and name. You wield a skilled blade, and more importantly, you have met the traitor face to face. Your great task as a paladin will be to help me bring him to justice. You must ready yourself, marshal your resources, and hone your skills until the time comes when you are able to discharge your duty. The journey will be long, but you are a paladin now, and honor binds you as surely as an oath.
You have unlocked a new job. You can change to this job at any time by equipping the soul crystal received from this quest. When changing jobs, gear sets will allow you to register and save your equipment. You may then use them to switch between jobs instantly without the need to manually equip weapons or equipment. A button for the gear set interface is located in the upper portion of the character window. The next Paladin quest will be available from Genlins upon reaching level 35.
You have earned the right to call yourself a paladin. But how do others treat you? Do they recognize you for what you are? Remember that fancy swordplay and well-polished armor do not make you a paladin. You must be just in your heart and strive always to be an exemplar of true virtue. Once, not so long ago, the Sultan Sworn could walk the streets with their heads held high. When they marched by, the small folk would look upon them with reverence and gratitude. And no one was more respected than the captain. My predecessor. When I first saw him, I was still a child. My father had promised to take me to a local festival, but somewhere he took a wrong turn. We became lost and stumbled into a secluded back alley. Luck was not with us, because the next moment, we found ourselves in the middle of a riot. Drunken hunters were firing arrows into the crowd, and we were caught between them. There was no way out. It was only a matter of time before we would be struck. That's when the captain saved us from our plight. I'd never seen a sword move so swiftly. It flashed faster than my eyes could follow, and in seconds the hunters were on the ground or fleeing for their lives. The captain was gone down the street, slicing at their heels, before my father had time to thank him. Even today, I can see the captain as he was then, blood on his sword, armor impossibly bright in the sun. After that, all I ever wanted to be was a paladin. I would practice endlessly with my sword, dreaming of bandits defeated and monsters slain. Even after I became one of the Sultan Sworn, the memory of the captain still inspired me. I was always the first to arrive in the training yard, and the last to leave. And so the years passed, and before I knew it, I found myself named captain of the Sultan Sworn. Yet the triumph was hollow, because by then, the honor of the Sultan Sworn elite, that very thing that had drawn me to the Brotherhood, was a mere vestige, like the discarded banner of a defeated foe. There were many reasons for the fall, but the loss of Oathkeeper. Yes, that was the mortal blow. The sword Oathkeeper was bestowed upon the first captain of the Sultan Sworn by the then Sultan of Uda. In time it became our standard, the symbol of the oaths we had sworn, and it was treasured by each new captain for generations. Possession was proof of Sultan Sworn command, but then the unthinkable came to pass. Oathkeeper was stolen by the traitor. It shook our brotherhood to the core. How can we be trusted to protect the Sultana if we cannot even hold on to the symbol of our fealty? We have been tarnished, in the eyes of ruler and ruled alike. If the Sultansworn are to survive, we must find the traitor and recover Oathkeeper. But, the Sultansworn have grown too weak, and we cannot do it ourselves. We've been forced to recruit outsiders to help us in our cause. I have high hopes for you, my friend. It is a great thing that we ask, and you must learn more of our secrets if you are to succeed. In Outer La Nocia, near the Hermit's Hovel, is a grove where ringtails congregate. Pitting yourself against a host of the beasts would be a fine way to hone the skills that I will teach you. In the grove you will find another brazier, this time filled with a potent incense that will drive the creatures into a frenzy. Defeat your attackers and return to me. Well done. You have taken the skills I taught you and made them your own. I still do not have word of where the traitor is hiding, but I will inform you the moment I do. Until then, continue your training. Welcome, Paladin. You should know that word of your deeds has reached me. Few are those who follow the true Paladin path without misstep, but you are one of them. I am proud to call you sister. You have kept the faith, and in return, I must have faith in you. It is time that you knew the truth, though it is hard to share, for it is a shame I would rather keep hidden from outsiders. Perhaps you remember when I told you of the traitor and the sword Oathkeeper that he stole. His name is Soksoggle, and he was my predecessor as captain of the Sultansworn elite. Yes, he was the same man whom I had admired as a child, who inspired me to take up the sword and follow the way of the Paladin. He was the paragon of paladins, until, that is, he changed. Some years ago now, there was a struggle for influence between the Sultanate military and a faction within the syndicate known as the Monetarists. The latter emerged triumphant, and the army's authority was diminished dramatically. Although Soksoggle was still captain of the Sultansworn elite, he knew his position was perilous, so he fled, taking Oathkeeper with him. In doing so, he went against the words that he had spoken on bended knee before his royal liege. Now it falls to me, as captain, to restore the honor and name of the Sultansworn. If that means cutting down my former mentor and master, I would do it gladly, for his misdeed cannot be forgiven, but his death will not lift the stain that mars our name. He must be put on trial, in a public court, so that everyone knows his crimes. Then, and only then, can we begin to earn the people's trust again. He served for over 30 years as captain of the Sultansworn elite, and he is a formidable foe, few can match his skill with the sword. Even together, you and I will find it difficult to take him alive without mortal harm to one side or the other. So you must continue to hone your skills and prepare for the day when we will face him. To complete the next stage of your training, you must do this. Go to the Ugram River in eastern Thanalan and find the brazier we have placed there. By lighting it, you will draw the ire of the lepidotes dwelling within the waters. Face the creatures in battle and master your new skills. The fight will not be easy, but if you take to heart what you have learned and let the crystal be your guide, you will triumph. Good. You've mastered your new skills and made them your own. But much work remains to be done before you can face the traitor Socksuggle. We are close to finding him, and as our net draws tighter, it grows ever more important that we make ready for the moment when the fish must at last be landed. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. In my search for the traitor, I've been looking through old records, and discovered something chilling. Around the time the traitor Socksuggle was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultansworn met with untimely deaths. But strangely, our records do not say how they died. Curious, I begged the favor of an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale's frontistery. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some suddenly at night, in the barracks. But in nearly every case, there were signs that poison had played a role in their demise. Yes, poison. Carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death's embrace at work, assassins in the pay and service of the monitorists. A society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassins, they should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultansworn elite without being discovered. Not, that is, without help from within our own ranks. So I asked myself, who had the most to gain from their deaths? One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultansworn who might become future commanders, all of them, slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for Socksuggle to become the Sultansworn's youngest captain in a century. The Monitorists were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultansworn, to purge its ranks of greatness, and enervate it so that it could no longer carry out its duty to serve as sword and shield of the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how did Socksuggle remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisoner's kiss, when men better than him had succumbed? There can be only one explanation. He was the Monitorist's cat's paw, the turncloak in our midst. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the gallant armor, the legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultansworn. In accordance with Sultansworn tradition, the set that would be yours has been scattered across southern Thanalan. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. You must best the Sultansworn themselves if
So there's a situation that happens here. When you aggro this, the next place is down below and you can jump off, but if you fall while aggroed, you die. So don't do that. Kill these up first, don't have aggro, then jump down. I also misspoke a little bit. If you jump down and land in the purple, you'll automatically aggro and probably die. So let's try not to land there.
Good, the armor is yours. You have learned your lessons well and honed your skills, and now you are ready to face Soxoggle the traitor. Yes, the time has come. I have discovered his hiding place, and made contact through emissaries. We are negotiating the return of Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial, as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready. The recovery of Oathkeeper will be the first step in restoring the honor of the Sultan Sworn. I have told Soxoggle that if he returns the sword, we will give him a fair trial. Otherwise, he shall be captured and thrown at the feet of the Sultana for judgment. The parley is to take place south of Forgotten Springs in the Segolii Desert. Give me your map and I will mark the location. While I believe he is acting alone, we must be prepared for anything. You may be certain that the Monitorists will not take kindly to his surrender. In fact, I believe that should the Monitorists discover Soxoggle is willing to parley, they will surely try to intervene. Therefore, we must not speak of what we do, not to anyone. We should travel separately, so as not to attract attention. We shall meet again at the parley.
Sorry, before we start, I just want to show too, like, we haven't bought any gear at all. Like, we bought one, orange juice from a vendor, but we're still in the same level 15, and we're just putting on the pieces. We got these from quest rewards, from the job quests, and we're still wearing all the same stuff. I haven't even bothered checking. It's just not necessary at this time. So, we're going to keep going until we get the full set, and then maybe we'll upgrade and see what happens.
So you dared to come. You are a brazen one, I will grant you that. But did you really think I wouldn't find out? Come, confess. My allies within the Sultansworn have told me the truth. I know you are working in league with the traitor and the monitorists. Confess. With your dying breath, you will tell me where I can find Oathkeeper and the traitor who stole it. Do you dare accuse my own Sultansworn of lying? We are comrades in arms, every one of us, bound in brotherhood by our oath. I would trust them with my life. What is your word, when set against theirs? We know the meaning of honor. You are a naive fool. I suspected you from the beginning, ever since you showed me the soul of the paladin that the traitor Soxogl gave you. You were, no matter how briefly, a paladin, and as such, you are bound by a code of honor that is as unforgiving as it is noble. Traitor! I sentence you to death, and decree that your body shall lie here and feed the crows. Save whatever dignity you have left and accept your fate. How dare you use our arts against us? Confess, damn you, confess. You cannot do this. I am the greater swordsman. You're superior, in every way. You were blinded, Genlans, by your own conviction. Genlans, remember your own lesson. A paladin does not exist to defend his position or the honor of his fellow Sultansworn. Those men were assassins, in service to the monitorists. The moment you outlived your usefulness, you were to be killed. You and this free paladin of yours. Liar. You are their agent. You betrayed us for them. You were always naive, Genlans, too willing to trust your fellow man. It's one of your virtues, but you have a deplorable habit of turning your virtues into vices. Think. The information you uncovered, how did you come by it? Did it fall into your lap, as if, oh, I don't know, someone was feeding it to you for their own purposes? You and the paladins under your command are the monitorist lapdogs. Genlans, you've been led a merry dance, and followed their lead at every step. Then, you were never a traitor? You were innocent? I have wronged you. Easy now. Your wounds aren't mortal, but you still need to rest. I'll take care of the captain. He's had worse, and we'll have him back on his feet soon enough. You've become a fine warrior, and learned all there is to know about the way of the paladin. I think perhaps that you are not aware just how much you've grown. Well, 'tis time you were made aware, paladin. When the captain's recovered, keep an eye on him for me, will you? He needs someone like you to watch his back. Paladin, I have done you a great wrong. I allowed myself to be hoodwinked, accused you of treason, and even turned my sword against you. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. As for me, yes, I am recovered from my wounds, at least those that will heal. But far more important than that, Soxogl is innocent, after all. He was never a traitor, and the dream that I followed in my youth was not a lie. I remain captain of the elite, although a poor substitute for my predecessor. I am now working on a plan to strike back at the monitorists and restore the Sultansworn to its former strength. No, do not be afraid for me. We've unmasked the foe and he cannot hide behind his deceptions anymore. The assassins won't find it easy to reach me. For now, I will bide my time, marshal my strength, and, when the time is ripe, strike hard at our enemies.
Alright, we're going to pause here, wrap this video up for the quest for the Paladin, and go back to the main story. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.